7 warning signs your own children is evil. All parents should watch this. Most parents believe their child is good at heart. No matter how many tantrums they throw or how much trouble they cause, we tell ourselves they'll grow out of it. It's just a phase. But what if it's not? What if, deep down, your child isn't just misbehaving, but showing signs of something far more disturbing? Some behaviors go beyond normal childhood mistakes. Some children lie without guilt, hurt others without remorse, and take pleasure in causing pain. They don't feel empathy. They don't care about consequences, and they don't change, no matter how much love, discipline, or guidance they receive. It's a terrifying thought, but ignoring the signs won't make them go away. If you've ever felt uneasy about your child's behavior, if something about them just feels off but you can't explain why, you need to pay attention. Because the truth is, some children don't grow out of their bad behavior. They grow into it. In this video, we're going to expose 7 warning signs that your own child may have an evil nature. These aren't just rebellious phases or bad habits. These are deep, dangerous patterns that can lead to something much worse. If you're ready to face the truth, keep watching. What you learn today could change everything. Sign 1. Lack of empathy. Some children act out from time to time. They throw tantrums, break rules, and struggle with emotions. That's normal. But what happens when a child never seems to care about anyone's feelings? What if, no matter how much you teach them about kindness and respect, they don't seem to care at all? A lack of empathy is one of the biggest warning signs that something is seriously wrong. Empathy is what makes people care about others. It's what makes a child feel guilty after hurting someone, or sad when they see someone in pain. But some children don't feel these things. They hurt others, physically or emotionally, and feel nothing. No guilt, no regret, no concern. They simply don't care. At first, it may not seem like a big deal. Maybe your child sees a sibling crying but doesn't comfort them. Maybe they laugh when they see another child fall instead of helping. You assume it's just immaturity. But then, over time, you notice a pattern. They never seem sorry when they do something bad. If they break something, they don't feel bad. If they cheat, they don't care. If they make someone cry, they don't seem to notice. Or worse, they enjoy it. A child without empathy sees other people as objects rather than human beings with emotions. They may push, hit, or insult without hesitation. If they do say sorry, it's only because they've been told to, not because they actually feel it. They don't try to comfort someone in pain. They don't put themselves in someone else's shoes. Some parents excuse this behavior thinking, oh, they just don't understand emotions yet. But even very young children can show signs of empathy. A toddler might hug a crying friend. A 5-year-old might feel bad for taking someone's toy. But a child with no empathy, they don't care at all. One of the scariest things about a lack of empathy is that it often gets worse over time. When a child never learns to care about others, they grow into adults who feel nothing when they lie, cheat, or hurt people. They learn to fake emotions, pretending to care when it benefits them, but deep down, they feel nothing. Children like this often show their lack of empathy in small ways at first. Maybe they refuse to share, not because they're just being stubborn, but because they truly don't care about fairness. Maybe they break toys or destroy things just to see what happens. They might laugh when someone is in pain or get angry when asked to apologize. They never feel bad for the things they do. As they grow older, they may become cruel. If they have a sibling, they torment them without guilt. If they see a classmate struggle, they mock them instead of helping. They may bully others, not just to feel powerful, but because they simply don't care about the harm they cause. They don't see people as real. They see them as tools to use, obstacles to remove, or sources of entertainment. A child with no empathy doesn't react to punishment the way normal kids do. If a typical child gets punished, they might cry, feel bad, or want to make things right. But a child with no empathy, they don't care. They may fake regret to avoid consequences, but deep down, they feel nothing. Parents who notice this behavior often feel scared. They wonder, what's wrong with my child? Is this normal? Will they grow out of it? The hard truth is, some children never do. Pay attention to patterns. One mistake doesn't mean a child is evil, but if they repeatedly show no empathy, no guilt, and no remorse, it's a serious red flag. Sign 2. Manipulative behavior. Some children don't just break rules or act out. They learn how to control people to get what they want. They don't cry because they're sad. They cry because they know it will make you feel bad and give in. They don't apologize because they feel guilty. They apologize because they know it will make you stop being mad at them. They don't lie because they're scared of punishment. They lie because they enjoy getting away with things. Manipulative children learn early that they can use people as tools. They study how others react and figure out exactly what buttons to press to get what they want. They might pretend to be innocent when they're caught, act helpless so others will do things for them, or play people against each other for their own benefit. At first, their manipulations seem small. Maybe they cry when they don't get a toy, even though they don't really care about it. Maybe they blame a sibling for something they did, just to see if they can get away with it. But over time, their tactics become more dangerous. They start learning how to lie convincingly, guilt-trip others, and fake emotions to get what they want. One of the clearest signs of a manipulative child is their ability to switch personalities depending on who they're talking to. Around parents, they act sweet and obedient. Around friends, they might be cruel and controlling. Around teachers, they put on a polite and hard-working act. But in reality, they are only acting. Nothing they do is real. They also twist the truth to their advantage. If they get caught doing something wrong, they change the story to make themselves look innocent. If they start a fight with a sibling, they make sure their parents only see the part where the sibling fights back. If they break a rule, they blame someone else. Manipulative children also love to play the victim. If they get in trouble, they act heartbroken and betrayed. Not because they feel bad, but because they know it will make others feel sorry for them. They might say, "You don't love me," to make you feel guilty. It's not fair, to make themselves look like a victim. "I was just trying to help," to avoid blame. Over time, they get better and better at controlling others. They test boundaries to see what works. If lying gets them out of trouble, they do it more. If crying makes you give in, they use it every time. If acting helpless makes others do their work for them, they pretend to be weak. Some manipulative children even learn how to make people fight each other. If they don't like someone, they plant seeds of doubt in other people's minds. They whisper, "Did you hear what she said about you?" to turn friends against each other. They tell different versions of the same story to different people, making sure no one trusts each other except for them. What makes this behavior so dangerous is that it doesn't go away. It only gets worse. If they get away with manipulation as a child, they become manipulative adults who deceive, cheat, and use others without remorse. Sign 3. Excessive lying without guilt. Lying is common among children. Most kids lie at some point, whether it's to avoid getting in trouble, get something they want, or even just to see if they can get away with it. But there's a difference between a child who lies occasionally and a child who lies constantly, without guilt, without hesitation, and without any emotional reaction when caught. A normal child might lie, but when confronted with evidence, they show signs of guilt. They look down, avoid eye contact, or hesitate before admitting the truth. But a child with no conscience, They lie effortlessly, without blinking, without pausing, and without any remorse. Even when they are caught red-handed, they will continue lying as if reality does not matter. At first, the lies may seem small. They say they brushed their teeth when they didn't. They blame a sibling for something they clearly did. But over time, the lies become bigger. They create entire stories out of thin air, twisting facts, manipulating reality to suit their needs. They lie about serious things, stealing money, breaking something valuable, or hurting someone, and show no signs of regret. One of the most disturbing things about excessive lying is how easily they do it. While most children struggle with telling complex lies, these children lie smoothly, like second nature. They look you in the eye, speak with confidence, and make you doubt your own reality. They are so good at lying that even adults start to believe them. Some children lie for no reason at all. They don't just lie when it benefits them. They lie even when there's no reward. They make up stories just to see if people will believe them. They enjoy watching others get confused or misled. If someone questions them, they double down on their lies, making their false stories even more elaborate. When normal children lie, they usually feel some kind of fear of consequences. But a child with no guilt, they don't care if they get caught. If one lie is exposed, they simply create another. If you prove them wrong, they act like it doesn't matter. They don't show fear, embarrassment, or any emotional reaction because they don't feel anything at all. Some of the worst liars learn how to fake emotions to make their lies more convincing. If they know a lie is about to fall apart, they may pretend to cry or act offended. They know that people are more likely to believe someone who appears emotional. They also learn how to turn the blame onto others. Instead of admitting they lied, they accuse someone else of lying. As they grow older, their lies become more destructive. They start creating drama, spreading false rumors, and turning people against each other. They lie to manipulate relationships, destroy friendships, and even get innocent people in trouble. One of the most chilling signs of an evil child is how easily they switch between lies and truth. One moment, they are telling a complete falsehood with full confidence. The next moment, they are acting completely normal, as if nothing happened. They do not feel any stress or anxiety from lying, because to them, lies are just words. The longer they get away with lying, the more dangerous they become. They lose all respect for the truth. They know they can say whatever they want, create whatever reality they need, and manipulate people into believing them. If no one stops them, they grow into adults who lie effortlessly, without guilt, without fear, and without any concern for the damage they cause. Sign 4. No guilt or remorse for their actions. Most children, even when they make mistakes or do something wrong, eventually feel guilt. If they break a rule, they worry about getting caught. If they hurt someone, they feel bad. If they disappoint someone they love, they show some level of regret. But a child with no guilt or remorse? They feel nothing. This is one of the strongest warning signs of an evil nature. A child who lacks guilt doesn't just misbehave. They don't care about the consequences. They don't learn from punishment because punishment doesn't affect them. If they break something valuable, they shrug. If they cause someone pain, they move on like nothing happened. If they get caught in a lie, they simply keep lying or change the story without hesitation. At first, you may think they just have a tough personality. Maybe they don't show emotions easily. But then you notice that even in serious situations, they feel absolutely nothing. If a sibling is crying because of something they did, they show no sympathy. If they are disciplined, they show no regret. Even if they say, "Sorry," it's completely empty, just words with no real meaning behind them. One of the most dangerous things about a child without guilt is that they don't fear consequences. Most children behave because they know there will be punishment if they don't. But a child who lacks remorse doesn't care about punishment. You can take away privileges, ground them, or discipline them in any way, and it does not change their behavior. Instead of feeling bad, they become more focused on avoiding getting caught next time. Some children pretend to feel guilt when they know it will help them. They have learned that adults expect an apology, so they say the words without actually feeling them. They mimic emotions without actually experiencing them. They may cry when punished, not because they feel bad, but because they know crying might make you go easier on them. Over time, a child without guilt becomes more dangerous. Since they don't feel bad about hurting others, they do it more often. Since they don't care about punishment, they become better at hiding their behavior. Since they don't learn from consequences, they only become more deceptive and manipulative. One of the most chilling things about a child like this is how detached they become. When they see others suffering, they don't react. When they see someone in pain, they feel nothing. When they hurt someone and are confronted about it, they look at you blankly, like it means nothing to them. If they commit a serious act, stealing, lying, bullying, or even physically harming someone, they move on like it never happened. They may even act annoyed if you try to talk to them about it, as if your concern is just an inconvenience. A child who never feels guilt, no matter how serious their actions, is showing a dangerous lack of conscience. Most people learn from their mistakes because they feel bad about them. But if a child never develops this ability, they grow into an adult who lies, cheats, manipulates, and hurts others without regret. Sign 5. Cruelty to animals. One of the most disturbing signs that a child may have an evil nature is cruelty to animals. Many children love animals, whether it's a family pet, a stray cat, or even a tiny bug. But some children don't see animals as living beings. They see them as objects they can hurt for fun. At first, it might seem like curiosity. Maybe they pull a dog's tail or poke a bird with a stick. Young children sometimes test boundaries and don't fully understand that animals can feel pain, but the difference is how they react when the animal is hurt. A normal child might feel bad, apologize, or cry if they accidentally hurt a pet. But a child with no empathy, they enjoy it. They might kick, hit, or throw an animal just to see what happens. They might trap a cat in a small box, tie a rope around a dog's neck too tightly, or pull the legs off insects, not because they don't understand, but because they like watching it suffer. And when someone tells them to stop, they either ignore it or laugh. This behavior is extremely dangerous. Studies have shown that many violent criminals, serial killers, and psychopaths started by hurting animals. Before they harmed people, they practiced on animals. Why? Because animals are defenseless. They can't tell anyone what happened. They can't fight back. And if a child learns that they can hurt something weaker than them without consequences, they often move on to people. Parents who notice this behavior sometimes make excuses. They say, they're just curious. They don't know any better. It's just a phase. But this is not a phase. If a child repeatedly hurts animals, laughs about it, or shows no guilt, it is a serious red flag. A child who enjoys harming animals is showing that they do not feel empathy, and this can develop into even worse behaviors as they grow older. Some children try to hide their cruelty. They hurt animals when no one is looking. Maybe the family dog suddenly starts acting afraid of them. Maybe a neighbor's pet mysteriously disappears. Maybe you find injured animals near your home and don't know why. If a child goes out of their way to hurt animals in secret, it means they know it's wrong, but they do it anyway. One of the worst signs is when a child doesn't care at all if an animal dies. Most children feel sadness when they see a dead bird or a pet that has passed away. They may cry, ask questions, or feel scared. But a child with a dark heart, they don't react, or worse, They laugh. Sign 6. Blaming others for everything. A child who refuses to take responsibility for their actions is showing a major warning sign of an evil nature. When something goes wrong, most children may try to shift blame once in a while to avoid punishment. But when a child never takes accountability, no matter what, it becomes a pattern of deception, manipulation, and self-preservation at the cost of others. At first, their excuses seem harmless. Maybe they break a toy and immediately say, "It wasn't me." Maybe they spill something and insist, "I didn't do it." But then you realize something disturbing. They always blame someone else. If they push a sibling, they say, "They started it." If they get caught stealing, they claim, "I was just borrowing it." If they fail a test, they insist, "The teacher didn't teach it right." They are never responsible for anything. If there is trouble, they are always the victim, and someone else is always to blame. What makes this behavior so dangerous is that they believe their own lies. Even when the truth is obvious, they act like they are completely innocent. If confronted with proof, they twist the story, make excuses, or create new lies to avoid blame. Some children frame others to escape consequences. They blame siblings, classmates, or even adults for things they did themselves. They may break something and secretly move it into someone else's space. Start an argument, but make it seem like the other person was at fault. Lie to teachers or parents about what really happened. A child like this quickly learns how to manipulate situations. They are experts at playing the victim. Even when they hurt someone else, they act like they are the ones who were wronged. They might hit another child and then cry first to make it seem like they were attacked. Lie about being bullied to get someone else in trouble. Pretend they didn't understand a rule so they won't be punished. The more they get away with it, the more confident they become in shifting blame onto others. Over time, they no longer even hesitate to lie, manipulate, or throw people under the bus just to protect themselves. Some even start using guilt to control others. If someone tries to hold them accountable, they say things like, "Why are you always picking on me? I guess I'm just a bad kid, huh? You never believe me, no matter what I say." Instead of apologizing, they make other people feel bad for questioning them. They learn that if they act sad or offended, others will back off and let them escape responsibility. As they grow older, they start using blame shifting in more dangerous ways. They may steal something and accuse someone else, lie to avoid getting caught cheating or breaking rules, spread false rumors to protect their own reputation while ruining someone else's. The scariest part? They don't feel bad about it. They don't care if someone else gets in trouble, loses friendships, or suffers unfair punishment. As long as they don't face consequences, that's all that matters to them. A child who never takes responsibility, always blames others, and lies without remorse is on a path toward manipulation, deception, and total disregard for the truth. If this behavior isn't stopped early, they grow into adults who cheat, steal, and betray without guilt. Sign 7. Growing fascination with violence. Most children understand that hurting others is wrong. Even if they play rough sometimes, they usually learn limits. But some children develop a deep, unnatural interest in violence, not just in movies or video games, but in real life. They are drawn to destruction, pain, and cruelty, not because they don't understand, but because they enjoy it. At first, it may start small. Maybe they watch violent videos over and over, fascinated by fights or destruction. Maybe they draw disturbing pictures of people being hurt. Maybe they talk about violence casually, as if it doesn't bother them at all. But then you notice something more disturbing. They don't just watch violence, they seek it out. They become obsessed with weapons, blood, and stories about people getting hurt. They laugh at violent scenes in movies while others are shocked. They don't flinch at real-life suffering, even when others around them are disturbed. One of the worst signs is when they talk about hurting people in a way that feels serious. Maybe they make jokes about killing or hurting others, but the way they say it doesn't sound like a joke. Maybe they fantasize about getting revenge in ways that seem too detailed, too real. Maybe they express admiration for real criminals, serial killers, or people who have harmed others. At school, they may show aggression beyond normal rough play. They push, hit, or bully others, not just for power, but because they seem to enjoy it. If they see someone in pain, they watch with fascination instead of concern. As time goes on, they start testing their limits. Maybe they harm animals to see what it feels like. Maybe they break things just to enjoy the destruction. Maybe they intimidate others and enjoy seeing fear in their eyes. The biggest warning sign is when they escalate. They go from watching violence to acting on it. They start by harming things that can't fight back, but eventually they target people. They don't just have anger issues. They feel nothing when they cause pain. What makes this behavior so dangerous is that a child like this does not grow out of it. They grow into it. Many of history's most violent criminals showed these signs when they were young. They started by hurting animals, breaking things, and fantasizing about violence. Over time, they lost all connection to human emotions. A child who enjoys seeing others in pain, talks about hurting people as if it's normal, and shows no reaction to suffering, is showing one of the most extreme warning signs of an evil nature. If left unchecked, they become capable of things most people can't even imagine. Evil doesn't always show itself in obvious ways. Sometimes it hides behind a smile, a lie, or a cold stare. If you've recognized any of these warning signs, don't ignore them. The most dangerous thing you can do is pretend they don't exist. If this video opened your eyes, hit the like button and let me know in the comments. Have you ever seen these signs in someone before? What were the scenarios it happened? And don't forget to subscribe for more eye-opening content. Stay aware, stay safe, and always trust your instincts.